My name is Ingrid Veninger, and I'm the writer, director, producer of a feature film called The Animal Project that's screening here in Anchorage.
And I mean, I looked at the trailer stuff, and it's not about animals.
It's about a single father who's an acting teacher, and he basically comes up with this proposal where he asks his students to dress up in these furry animal mascot suits. Because it's an interesting thing, if you've ever been in a mask, right, you sort of are free and liberated behind the mask. But because they're wearing these furry animal suits, people outside are also kind of, I don't know, they give themselves permission to be sort of free because the animals represent something childlike and innocent. So when my actors were in these suits, people would do all kinds of things to them as if they were big stuffed bears. So it's an interesting exercise for actors because it's about identity and authenticity, and it's funny and quirky. And, you know, actors are kind of professional liars, but they're all about telling the truth. So those kinds of themes and ideas are interesting to me.
I know what you mean, because in high school, I was the first person to wear our school mascot.
Exactly.
And I was very out of character, and I got called into the boys' vice principal's office because of what I did on stage and that.
Right. Well, you're sort of free in a different way. I mean, it's about role playing. It's about, yeah, I mean, I was born in Bratislava. I live in Toronto. So people that come from elsewhere, and I think a lot of people are here in Anchorage from somewhere else. So identity and home and belonging and fitting in, because actors are typically they're kind of misfits. And so through acting, they're kind of escaping their lives. And so the film asks these kinds of questions of belonging, and, you know, the film also deals with the relationship between a father and a son, and it deals with holding on to our children and letting them go. And if you have kids or if you don't, you're also dealing with holding on and letting go of your parents. So life is a series of holding on and letting go. And the film also deals with that in a kind of entertaining. And I mean, when we screened at the Toronto International Film Festival, it was so fantastic to hear all the laughter. Last week we screened in India. We just won a big prize from the Alliance of Women Journalists, which is an alliance made up of journalists from the UK and Canada and the States. It won the Best Narrative Feature at Whistler. We screened in Bratislava. We screened across Canada. So it's awesome to be here in Anchorage, which is my second time. I was here 5 years ago with my first feature film.
Which was?
Only. So I was here 5 years ago with my first feature film, Only, and this is my fourth feature film, and so I'm really glad to be back.
4 feature films in 5 years?
Correct. 4 feature films in 5 years.
Man, you're a speed demon. I mean, I hear these people talking about their 8-year movies.
Right. No, I'm kind of an impatient girl. Usually from the blank page to the world premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival is typically 9 months for me.
Wow. A child.
A child, yes. It's basically, you know, the 9-month term. So when I just finish making a film, you know, people always ask me what I'm working on next. And what I'm actually working on next is a writer's intensive for women, because while I've been at these festivals since really 2008, quite a lot around the world, I've noticed women who write and direct features make one, and then they fall off the radar. What is that about? Either they end up in development for 5 years, or they just don't make another film. And I'd like to see more.
Or in therapy for 5 years.
Or they just get out of the game. But I would like to see more women write and direct feature films, fictions. I think we do all right in documentary, we're doing okay in television, but I'd like to see more women directing feature films more consistently. So I sort of launched this writer's lab, and by June we'll have 6 feature film screenplays. And yesterday at Whistler Festival, when I was accepting my award, I said, all right, will anybody in the audience contribute $6,000 for a first look at these 6 feature film scripts in June? And it was silent. And then I started counting down from 6. I was like, you got 6 seconds. 6, 5, and then Melissa Leo, Academy Award-winning actress from The Fighter, shot out of her seat and said, I'll do it. So Melissa Leo is basically going to get a first look at these 6 scripts, which is pretty cool. So you're going to see more films by women, I think, in the next few years. And exciting, raw, brave, fierce, primal, powerful feature films.